This episode is brought to you by the Denver Art Museum. Kick off your weekend at the Denver Art Museum's next Untitled Artist Takeover event on Friday, April 24th from 6 to 10 p.m. Get ready for a night of creativity and culture featuring poetry readings, crafting origami stars and printmaking, the electrifying rhythms of Japanese drumming, one-night-only art installations, and a nostalgic fashion show. The evening will be led by artists Leilani Durr and Soo-Yoon Juliet Lee and other contributing creatives. Untitled Artist Takeover is included in general admission and free for Denver Art Museum members. Reserve your tickets today at denverartmuseum.org.
Welcome to CityCast Denver. I'm Paul Caroli, and here's what Denver's talking about. Welcome again to CityCast Denver, the show about the city where the weed cloud rising over 420 Fest was disappointingly small this year.
Weak.
Womp womp.
It does mean that the College of Vape Cardinals must return to papal chroniclave for another vote on the weed pope. There is no weed pope selected yet.
I can't believe you brought the Catholic Church into this, Paul. Fascinating.
I thought you'd like that.
I do.
The weed pope.
I do. I was just thinking about all this, the sad stoner, like everybody just gets high at home now, right?
I was going to say, I participated, just not.
Yeah, just not in a public.
Not in Civic Center.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never been to that event.
Really?
Any of the iterations of it, when it was the protest, when it was the party.
I went in the 90s when it was the protest.
I went post legalization and.
You saw Lil Wayne or no? I don't know. Who
I
was
remember
performing.
they did have like a lineup of rappers and it was a very fun time. But like once 420 actually hits and that cloud goes up, it's like.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
It does seem like
a
lot.
Yes, it is a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, it's Friday, and today we are talking about how one Elizabeth student got around new classroom surveillance, new efforts. Actually, no, we have a last-minute topic change.
We do.
We were talking about a very hot story on social media right now about a development project on Federal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Of course, our wins and fails, but also in our members-only segment today, we are answering a great question someone posted on the Denver Food subreddit. If you had 1 week left in Denver, where do you need to go eat one last time?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. If you haven't heard yet, CityCast Denver neighbors are getting a special bonus segment every Friday, maybe sometimes more. We launched this benefit as part of our spring membership drive, which is going on right now. Today is actually the last day. So we know that CityCast neighbors are the ones who really want to dig in and get into the nitty gritty. And this is where we do it. In this bonus segment, if you remember, you're going to get the real stuff. You know, this is where we talk about the fun stuff. This is where it gets a little bit more raw.
Yeah. Well, I call it CityCast After Dark a little bit, you know? I'm trying to entice people, okay? I think it's fun. We get to talk. I mean, I say this all the time. There's so much we stay off mic that doesn't make it into the show. And this is kind of a little bit of that.
When we're talking about topics, what makes you think, ooh, that's a great one for a bonus segment?
If I can get Adrian to say something insane, probably it's a good indicator.
Yeah.
Just something that feels fun, but because the thing is, we don't want folks to miss out on the news, the things that we talk about. But we do have this component of stuff that is related to the city that doesn't necessarily always fit in exactly with what we're talking about that day, but we still want to talk about it, and we already do. So why don't we share it with you? And yeah, this idea, I just saw this on Reddit and I was like, oh my gosh, where would I go?
It's a very fun prompt.
Yeah.
So that's coming up later in the show.
But
if
you have to
are
be a member.
So if you're not, maybe now's a good time to pause the episode, sign up for membership, get the ad-free feed. That's where that bonus segment is going to be on this same episode. And it's just $10 a month. Membership.citycast.fm. Check it out. Membership.citycast.fm. You've heard their voices. Joining me for today's show, of course, Bree Davies. Hey, Bree.
Hi.
And one of our favorite regular contributors on politics and everything else, Adrian Felix. Welcome back to the show.
Hello. Happy to be here.
All right, let's get right into this first story because it is a very interesting situation developing on Federal. It's been blowing up on social media the last couple of days. I think Naked Denver broke the news on Instagram. They great follow, Naked Denver. But their headline was, a housing makeover is proposed for the Asia Center on Federal Boulevard. A person named Jason Trong reportedly purchased the strip mall in 2023 for $5.7 million and intends to tear it down to build a new 4-story mixed-use building that's 33 apartments over ground floor retail with all parking below grade. That news sparked an outpouring of love for the small businesses, a petition with now more than 3,000 signatures demanding a more thoughtful and inclusive approach to development that honors the past while building the future. This clearly resonated with people. Bree, why do you think it struck a nerve?
I mean, it resonated with me. I live in this neighborhood. I think a lot of folks that live in the community and are part of sort of the Asian diaspora go to this strip mall for all sorts of things. Like I said, there's different businesses there, but there is a lot of food there, which is why a lot of Denverites do come to my side of town. Star Kitchen is over there, which is like the dim sum place. I mean, one of many beloved ones, I should say. Tony Pho's over there. Ballet, which was, I feel like it's the first place that a lot of folks had banh mi for the first time. So there was a lot of feelings about it, but there was a lot of feelings about it from the community. And what I found interesting about this post from Naked Denver, which it's a misleading name. It's actually like a development Instagram. Like first I was like, what is Naked Denver? But he covers a lot of like
That's a different kind of bonus.
It's kind of a weird name, to be honest with you, but it's all about what's happening in the city on a development level. And when he first posted about it, all of a sudden, I knew everyone in the comments. These are folks that I know.
Your neighbors.
My neighbors, but my friends that grew up in Bear Valley, my friends that grew up in Westwood, my friends that grew up in Barnum, like everybody was like, what?
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to lose my favorite sandwich shop and get hundreds of new neighbors?
Right.
Well, I mean, I don't think it was that. In a few years? It wasn't that as much as it was just what's happening to the like what will happen to these places that I really love. And I thought about it a lot because I had a strip mall growing up that was where my Denver Public Library was. It's where my gymnastics school was as a kid. It's where my queer-owned video store was in the 80s, run by a queer couple. It was so foundational to my life that I could see that feeling about something that often people think is like a terrible use of land, which is a strip mall. And I guess my thoughts about it were community creates whatever environment you get. People create something in it. And that's what I was seeing a lot of people saying was just like, oh, I love this. I love this strip mall. Right. And so it was just a strong outpouring of support for a place that may have been overlooked for a long time, but has served so many people.
Sure. Well, like when I first moved to Denver in 2019, and then COVID hit 2020, I remember visiting the strip mall quite often. I remember ordering pho there for the first time from Denver there. Sure. Little Saigon, I remember going grocery shopping there during COVID because I was avoiding big the big stores. So it's ironic to me because last time I was here, if you remember, I was complaining that I was like, I want more housing. This is what that looks like, and the cost of that, it's one thing, of course, and it's important to keep our people housed and to build housing, but the way that it impacts businesses or, people's foundations in Denver, like I said, or like you said. So I totally get it. It's like meaningful to people.
I do want to share one quote. There were a lot of interesting comments and posts about this, but one quote from MacFam's Instagram. This is the Chinese restaurant on Broadway. They posted about this and they wrote, "It always hurts more when the betrayal comes from someone in your own community. No money, no opportunity will ever be enough to buy my integrity and loyalty I have to my culture. I will never understand that mentality. To have someone who looks like us give the green light to tear down the Asia Center is vile and disgusting."
Yeah.
Strong words.
Yeah,
it's very strong
really
words.
Passionate about it.
Yeah. So this person who wants to do the development, the tearing down and the building of this new housing. This is a person named Jason Trong, who I reached out for an interview yesterday. Haven't heard back. Still hope to hear from him because the person who tipped me off to this, Councilman Flor Alvidrez, told me that he has a great plan to support the small businesses and plans to do construction while BRT construction is happening. Federal, of course, is one of the boulevard. It's the next in line. CDOT is planning, and I don't think quite has the funding yet to build bus rapid transit on Federal. Bree, do you see a way that everyone could get what they want here?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think there's a few layers to this conversation. I think the big headline is like more housing, which, yes, in theory is great, but at what cost, I think?
Right. And
when we bring the BRT conversation into it, I can't help but think about the struggles that small businesses have had along Colfax during the construction of BRT. I think everybody wants it to go well, but who will survive to benefit from BRT is the question. And so I think that's part of it. I also think people are just skeptical of new development anywhere. I live in this neighborhood. I've lived in this neighborhood for about 15 years. We've been relatively untouched in terms of how other neighborhoods have changed. It hasn't happened as much in our neighborhood. A lot of the businesses have been there since I moved in, and some of them have been there for decades.
Sure.
And so we just haven't seen a lot of development or interest, I should be honest, interest in development in our neighborhood. So this might be a trigger for some folks to say, what's coming?
Yeah, the BRT clearly was, I mean, again, haven't talked to Jason Trong, but the BRT project seems to have been the spark for him. It seems like a money-making opportunity. And I think that's the same dynamic we're seeing on Colfax. And yeah, I mean, if with the comparison, I mean, how all of these proposals and the debate over the last couple of years, like, should there be a special fund? Should the city be helping support these businesses? Should taxpayers be supporting these businesses through construction? I don't know. Adrian, do you think that we'll see more of that on federal? Do you think that conversation will grow? Do you think people would go for that?
Well, I mean, if, like what Bree says, in terms of like the community is being tight-knit as it is, I would hope that would be the case. But I also feel like this is a situation where you're not going to be able to make everyone happy. And that's a very unfortunate thing, because I'm certainly a people pleaser. I would be, hopefully, like this Mr. Trong man is like trying to really have these discussions with the businesses and how they can find compromise and maybe find solutions that everyone is okay. But I just don't see that being applicable here. It's just too difficult.
I mean, so if you're a business and you know that it's going to be demolished and you're going to have to leave, and he's maybe saying like, I'll have a spot for you.
Right.
Like, we'll have retail on the first floor. I'd love to have you in here. So that's what, years of construction.
What do you do between that time?
That's going to cost a lot of money. I mean, that's their livelihood, probably, these people. I mean, I don't know these people. I'd love to hear from them.
Well, I think we heard that from the realtor, Katrina, I believe. She posted this story about how many of her family's own businesses had started in that strip mall.
Okay.
And I think that's another part of this is these spaces often started out as affordable for people to start their small businesses.
Yeah.
And often that's not an opportunity as much anymore. And so I think, but then there's also the cultural component. I think about all the work that Mimi Luong has done with the Far East Center. It's a strip mall. It's got a little bit more architectural character.
Kind of strip mall.
It is.
Yes,
but,
I know what you're talking about.
She and the community worked so hard to have it recognized as an important cultural space. And I'm seeing that conversation already happen now with this particular space. And it's I'm trying to think how to say this without sounding super biased about it. But it is interesting to watch the evolution of the historic status change as we've added cultural components to what makes a place historical or what can be viewed as historical in the eyes of like Historic Denver or the state registry. And this is going to be one of those cases, which is architecturally probably insignificant, but what has happened there has been so important to the community that is now in play.
Yeah. I think it was a couple of years ago, there was a report that said something like 98% of the historic statues and like designations were in honor of white people. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions. A lot of them for this Jason Trong, the owner, who's proposed this. You know, I saw people talking about the design of the building. Like, could there be a way that's a little bit more...
Yeah, because like the picture of it is like, it's just giving... it's not cultural. Like, you know, it's a building.
It's the same mixed-use development we could have seen 100 of.
It's worst own salesperson. I will say that. People see that rendering and go, wow, I hate that.
Yeah.
They did that on my block and I hate it.
Although that reminds me of the thing you said earlier, Bree, about the community making spaces important.
Sure,
just
absolutely.
Through their relationship. You know, I feel like the aesthetic thing, I feel like I've said this before, but the aesthetic thing is like, if it's a space that has a business that's meaningful to you or providing for you, you'll make it important, you know?
Yes.
That connection will make it a new Asia Center.
For sure.
If it does go that way.
Sure.
But we have to look at the context of when that strip mall was built and who was in that neighborhood, and this is often where folks were going because this is where they could buy. And so that community created around what it was. The concern with this current rendering is it is a representation for a lot of people of, I didn't get to live in my neighborhood anymore when something like this came around.
Right.
So those are very different contexts for two types of architecture that some people don't like.
Yeah. Well, I just think that like the picture of it is just like if it were a dictionary, you'd be like, this is what gentrification looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of broken promises feelings of like, and is my uncle's business really going to be able to afford to go in there once it's back? Are the units that are going into this actually serving the neighborhood that exists right here now? Or is it planning for people that aren't here yet? You know?
Yeah. The kids of the people who are living in the neighborhood.
Totally.
Who would like to stay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
That's what I'm saying. Is
these
it's more
units would be more
complicated.
affordable probably than a single family home in the neighborhood.
That's the question. It's like, well, yeah, I guess more than a single family home. That's fair. But like, I think, who can afford it is still a question.
Right.
And are they going to be for sale? Are they going to be rental? We don't know. Like,
yeah. Jason Trong, reach out. We got questions for you.
Please do.
And listeners, we want to hear from you too. We know people have strong feelings about this. I'd love to hear more stories about these businesses.
Yeah.
Like, what are your relationships with them? What are the places that people should know about, the stories people should hear? Reach out, let us know. 720-500-5418 is the number to call. Leave us a voicemail, leave us a text with your name and neighborhood, 720-500-5418. All right, a break.
hi, Olivia.
Hey, Brie, what's up?
Well, I just want to talk to you about this cool new thing that we have that's just for CityCast Denver neighbors. We have something really exciting to share with you because we know you love Denver as much as we love Denver, but the other thing you love about Denver, which I know you do, is gossip. There's a lot of stuff that we realized we were like leaving on the cutting room floor that was actually really fun and things we wanted to share with that we thought our audience might like, but it doesn't always fit into our regular programming.
So if you want to hear that and join the little chat, we've got a special new thing for neighbors only, where we are going to be rolling out a bonus segment at least once a week for neighbors only, where you get a special segment of us talking about something. But that's only one of the benefits you get from joining our membership program. Of course, it shows the kindness of your heart and supporting local journalism and our small team. We see each of your names and we get a little flutter in our hearts each time we see it. But you also get ad-free listening, invites to our member-only events, and then you're also getting a weekly preview of all the best events happening throughout the metro, sent right to your inbox every Monday.
So again, you can join us at membership.citycast.fm for just $10 a month. You get that extra content, or $100 a year if you want to save a little cash and pay for the whole year up front. And it's just for you if you become a member.
And we're back. Hey, before we get to our next topic, it's our spring membership drive. Just a reminder. This is actually our last day. And by the way, listeners, we have not hit our goal.
No.
We had a very lofty goal and we have not hit it. We have got a lot of new members. I'm very grateful for everybody that's joined.
This is where Paul and I start groveling.
Yes, this is grovel time.
But can I give a little bonus to
Go ahead.
We're groveling, but also if you sign up now, you get something that nobody has gotten before.
The absolutely gorgeous, custom-made green like the cottonwoods that line the Cherry Creek wool pennants that says Denver. It's gorgeous. It says I live here on purpose because we do. And now some of you are thinking, well, crap. I'm already a member.
Right.
How do I get one of these awesome pennants?
Which we get that question a lot.
People want them. Mm-hmm. They're beautiful. I mean, of course, if you're not a member, you can just sign up and become a member and you get the pennant, $10 a month.
But we know a lot of you.
If you are a member, like say Melanie S. says, I'm already a member, but would love the generic horse pennant you're currently giving to new members. Would I be able to anonymously purchase a membership that could be gifted to someone or make a donation in CityCast name to a local nonprofit? Let me know what you think. Melanie, that's
First
amazing.
of all, how thoughtful are you, Melanie? Thank you. But you can do that.
Yes. We actually do have a way now. You can get a pennant and hook up a friend or loved one with an invite to the coolest exclusive events and membership community in the city. You can give someone a gift membership at the link in the show notes, and then you get the pennant. So there you go.
Yep.
Existing members. All you got to do is head to membership.citycast.fm, become a member today, get the pennant, $10 a month, $100 a year, membership.citycast.fm. Support the show. It means we get to keep doing this thing. It means Denver will be a better place.
And we thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you'll be in the know, which is my favorite part.
Exactly. You can be a little smart aleck like we are.
Yeah.
All right. Our next topic, wild story out of Elizabeth's, which is a small community southeast of the Denver metro. Our friends at Westward reported that a student at Elizabeth High School requested and was given an exemption from using the school's digital hall pass system because it violates her bodily autonomy, which is apparently a key tenet of the Satanic Temple, of which this student is a adherent, a member.
Yes. And so are her parents, according to the article.
What did you think of this story?
Well, at first that part was like, okay, religious exemption for bodily autonomy to be able to use the restroom whenever she needs. But I don't think that that's actually the crux of the story. I reached out to a teacher friend of mine I'm like, do you guys have this digital hall pass system? She's like, no, I wish we did. And I was like, really? She goes, yes. A huge issue I have with my students. And she's like, she wanted to acknowledge this varies per school district. It varies per school. They can be all different. She's speaking from her experience teaching at a school here in Denver. She's like, vaping, huge problem in the bathrooms. Smoking weed, huge problems in the bathrooms.
They're electing weed pope in there.
Fights. She's like, kids fight each other, and you're trying to get the best angle of the fight. These happen in the bathroom. She's like, she's like, we have 4 bathrooms, or we have like a couple bathrooms closed altogether because the kids have torn everything off, like torn the sinks off the walls. And she said the digital hall pass system would be helpful because she's often keeping track of how often kids ask to go to the bathroom because they'll ask to go to the bathroom in every period and disappear for 10 minutes. It's so bad at her school that they have a 10 minutes before class ends, or a 10 minutes after class starts and 10 minutes before class ends, you cannot ask to go to the bathroom because so many kids were asking to do it right before so they could go disappear. They have color-coded bathrooms assigned to classrooms. You can only go to the bathroom that you're assigned to because they were finding kids on the other side of the school. So she was just like, the digital hall pass system is actually really helpful because otherwise I'm spending half my day tallying who's gone to the bathroom and where they've gone. Because the other thing is,
because it connects with so other teachers can see in the next
period.
period.
And also, is there something else going on? Is this kid having a behavioral issue where they're checking out of class? You know, like, do they? So she's like, it's just like, she's like, I'm exhausted and I'm frustrated by the fact that I have to do this. And she's like, I love my students, but like the bathrooms are one of the biggest problems for us because kids it's like a ditch. It's a place to ditch.
So that's clearly the perspective I was missing because when I read this, I was like, what are we doing? Like, why are we surveilling our kids like this?
I agree.
But with that said, to me, like the remedy is parenting. Like that shouldn't be on teachers to be monitoring that at all hours of the day. Like it's their job to teach. So it's just weird to me. But then with that said, I try to harken back to my own time as a teenager and my behaviors. I don't think I was using the bathroom that way. I would just ditch. So I don't know. I just think that's so weird.
I talked to her about this because her and I are the same age, and I was like, I need to talk to you because I literally have not been a student or around students since the 90s.
Yeah.
Were we going to the bathroom? And she goes, no, we were going during passing period. I was like, we were going during passing period. So she's like, they have passing period to go. But this is something that's being abused, at least at her school. And to the parenting conversation, she said that is not often an easy conversation.
See, too, and then when I remember my first day of being a freshman in high school, it was the first time that District 6 in Weld County had required students to carry their ID on them at all times. And I remember that was too far because one of my best friends who was a sophomore, the first sentence I ever heard her say was about the hall pass. And she goes, these teachers are Nazis. And I was like, she's been my friend now for like 20 plus years. But like that was the extent of it. It was like you just had to have your ID. Now the ID has a tracker and everyone knows where I'm at all hours of the day. Yeah. No, baby. No. So thank God for this student because I would be all over that.
I hadn't heard about these apps either. And there was one detail from Western that I wanted to share about them. Apparently the Minga digital hall pass system has a countdown timer that notifies teachers when the student has been out of class for longer than allotted.
Yeah.
I mean, this makes sense hearing from a teacher about why this might be necessary, but that's very funny that a teacher would be looking at a timer for how long a student is in the bathroom.
I mean, my teacher friend was like, this takes up so much of my time that I don't even have time in my planning periods to plan my classes because I'm dealing with like getting this tardy information together. And the parenting thing, she's like, oh, you want to go to the parents? The parents that gave their kid the vape they're smoking? Because I have parents who have done that. She
my
said,
gosh.
She said, I have parents who have bypassed the age limits on TikTok so that their kids can use TikTok. So
this is what the vape shop owners told me. I remember when they were like, who are the customers? Because kids already can't buy vapes. The whole fight over flavored tobacco. They were like, yeah, parents are bringing the kids in to buy vapes for them.
This is my friend who a parent came into school with her hair pulled back and her Vaseline on her face to fight my friend.
Ooh.
Because she had disciplined her kid
on the face.
Yeah.
What is that for?
So you don't like you ever seen boxers? That's how it keeps the
like,
cuts like
cuts keep the cuts
from bleeding.
Oh.
This is a student to a student's parent to a teacher who just said, please stop vaping in the bathroom. But I do want to be fair. I don't want to paint this as every student in every school. And she wanted me to do that too. She said, I love my kids.
Yeah, it was a million.
She's like, but I'm also an art teacher. I teach each kid sees me one day a week for 30 to 40 minutes. If they're in the bathroom for most of that time, they're losing out on my class where she takes them. This week she took them out into nature and had them painting nature scenes and stuff. Like she's like, I love teaching. This is the part I don't like about it.
So there's one other piece of this story I want to talk about because this was just the legal background around this exemption, because the student was initially denied the exemption, and then the apparently well-funded Satanic Temple has lawyers that Western reported sent a letter citing Mahmoud v. Taylor, the 2025 U.S. Supreme Court ruling that found that schools must allow parents to opt their children out of instruction that conflicts with their religious beliefs, which in that case were books inclusive of the LGBTQ plus community.
So wild.
Just an interesting connection.
Yeah, it really just again made me realize, like, God, being a teacher has to be so hard. You're navigating so many things like this.
So it's weird to me too, because I remember being in first grade and I got in trouble because I was trading Pokemon cards in the bathroom. And like they didn't even need a digital surveillance to catch me. And I was caught. Like she's like, you need to come to the front of the classroom. And she made me hand over my Pokemon cards at the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
My Gen X equivalent of this is we got in trouble for having garbage pail kids cards at school. But those were just like straight up, they were just confiscated because they were obscene.
Obscene.
It's a little different. Yeah.
All right. We are going to leave that topic there and move on for non-members who have not subscribed to the membership program, not become neighbors. You are not getting a bonus segment right now. However, if you are listening on the ad-free members-only feed, we got a few more things we want to say. It's a great segment coming up only for members. That's right. If you're not one, head to membership.citycast.fm right now. Make sure you get the full episode. If you're not, we're going to go to an ad break and come back with wins and fails. But right now, for members, let's get into it. And we're back. Time for the best way to end the week. Wins and fails, aka Rocky Mountain highs and lows. Each of us picked a recent local something we think is a win and another we think is a fail, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to start with fails. Adrian.
Okay, story out of 9 News. Family heartbroken after beloved sculpture stolen from Congress Park yard. Yes, there is a sculpture made by an artist whose last name is Italian Del Giudice, as I'm going to assume.
Okay.
And evidently, before she became a professional artist, she made a sculpture of herself laying down, and her family had it in their front yard, and it has been stolen.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like every time I have to do a low, one of us has a story about something in Denver that's like artistic or something being stolen. Not my Doxy Pep, but so not if you remember that story. But like, how sad is that?
Oh, that makes yes, I got mad about this recently when someone had stolen the sign from Duke's that my friends had painted, and I was like, why would you steal art?
Right, especially when it comes like from a cultural perspective, and like the whole neighborhood knows this family because of their daughter being an artist, and then they stole this sculpture.
Gosh, return it.
Return it, please. Stop stealing, Denver.
Terrible. Rude.
I guess I can go next with my fail. So I was watching, I guess my fail is kind of like two parts, but I was watching the Avalanche playoff game against the Kings on Tuesday night. And the number one, the puck drop time, 8:00. And the same with the Nuggets. The tip-off is listed at 8:30, but it doesn't happen until 8:50. I gotta wake up in the morning. I can't be staying up all night to watch these. Also, I want to watch the games.
We were streaming it. You don't get commentary. You don't get the game before. You sit and watch like just a repeat of all these different stadiums until it starts.
That seems like an illegal stream issue.
I don't know.
Because on the broadcast I pay for, it's not like that.
Where did you? We paid for it through.
It depends.
Peacock?
Depending on the day, it's like it's Peacock or it's ESPN or it's. I don't know where else.
We paid for Peacock.
Literally every time I go to watch a game, I have to look up what app.
This is the other problem.
And
it's like they don't want you to watch.
It's horrible. But the fail, I think, specifically is for the glass behind the Kings bench on Tuesday night's game. This is something I've never seen watching in all my years watching hockey, my whole life. The fans, after the Avalanche goalie made a great save on a breakaway, the fans behind the Kings bench were just smashing the glass, like bashing the glass, which they always do. Mm-hmm. But the glass shattered over top of the Kings coach and their players. And they had to stop the game for 20 minutes to clean up the glass and replace it.
Imagine trying to clean glass off ice. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's ice. It's like in their jerseys. It's in the coach's hair. You could see it was bizarre.
People are wild.
I'm not a hockey fan for that reason. Like, we're stopping 5 minutes to watch two dudes fight? Like, that's so weird to me.
And they're not kissing at the end.
Well, and they're not. And also,
Maybe
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Also, NBA, better looking guys. Just saying, I'd rather watch a basketball game for all the hotties.
Anyway, yeah, it's just bizarre. So fail for the glass, fail for the late start times. Brie, how about you?
Manos Sagrados is closing. Bruce Trujillo's wonderful venue on Colfax in Aurora, East Colfax, is closing. She has fought tooth and nail to bring the space to life. Permitting woes, just so much cost. She poured her life savings into it to create this venue, and it was just too difficult to operate it. She was running it volunteer run because it was just like, it's a hard thing to run a venue, especially when you have like an ethos behind it and you book artists in an intentional way that is reflective of you and the space. This is not just like any old concert venue. And she really made this beautiful space. And she finally was just like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm just exhausted. I'm broke. I love you all. I can't do it. And it just made me sad. I've been to some really beautiful events there. It's a really beautiful space. And I know she'll move forward and do something really cool. But I'm sad that it just couldn't make it. It's rough.
It's hard. Sad. I remember when she opened it, it was like, oh, that strip of Aurora. Like, oh, that's kind of a cool place to go. And great restaurants, good venue now.
It's a cool neighborhood. It was just... It's just hard. So my heart goes out to Bruce. She worked so hard. She'll do something cool. I know she will in the future. She's deeply involved in the music scene here. And I wish her the best of luck, but I'm sorry that happened. Just rough.
Let's move on to wins.
All right.
Adrian, do you want to give us your win?
Yes. So the actress Pam Grier, who attended Denver East High School as well as Metropolitan State University. The Alamo Drafthouse Cinema in Littleton is naming their theater after her, the Pam Grier Cinema.
Which is amazing.
Amazing. I love Pam Grier. Obviously, there's a lot of like 1970s work that she did, but my favorite is when she played Kit Porter in The L Word.
Oh.
Yeah. And then in particular, in one of the seasons, she dates a trans man. And it was like super important to me as a young gay man to like see that type of like...
I was like, when was that too? That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was like just a very important moment for me in like TV to like see that. Obviously, it's like already queer media because it was The L Word, but in specific, including a trans man
Yeah.
and that type of relationship was just a big deal. But I love Pam Grier, so
She's
congratulations to
She's
her.
a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown was the one for me.
Of course.
Tarantino, Jackie Brown.
Of course.
So good.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
She's
I feel
As the
incredible.
lead, yeah.
Yeah. She's incredible.
One of our best.
Yeah. The Alamo part is weird
We do
to me.
have to talk
wait,
about it. This is happening
do
at a
they do this?
conspicuous time. A few weeks after they got a big backlash for their QR code changeover, and then the workers went on strike. People have been pretty grumpy with the Alamo Draft House lately.
I saw a couple of social media comments online related to that under a post about the Pam Grier naming, and someone was like, "And I'll use a QR code over my dead body," and I was like,
Really?
Yeah,
"Yes."
it was my first thought too. It was like,
Wow.
this is very canny move by the Alamo.
We love a good PR move.
Yeah, let's honor a Colorado actress at the Alamo during a time of turmoil with the staff. Yeah, I if I was a staff member, I would feel away.
I would too.
But
I mean,
also,
you feel
I want Pam
conflicted,
Grier
I
to be
think.
honored because
totally.
it's like
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
now she's
and
caught in the
a theater named
crossfire.
after her. So cool.
Deservedly so.
Yes.
I mean, I think it might mean more if it was like the Esquire was revamped and brought back to life and had her name on it or something. But like that's not the case here. And maybe someone could have done that a long time ago. She's been an actress for a long time.
Very long time.
I mean, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
The Pam Grier
That
Theater.
can't happen now because
Ooh.
Alamo has done it. But
Well,
You know.
cool move by them. That is a win. I think regardless of how anyone, how you individually feel about it,
It's cool to
it's
get.
a canny move. It's a win for Alamo.
I mean, I would see it as also just like, let's honor Pam Grier.
yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
She's important to Denver.
I'm going to give my win now. So it goes to the team that doesn't get a lot of wins. It's a sports town, but you don't talk about the Rapids very much. People don't talk about the Colorado Rapids. It's a soccer team that plays in Commerce
Thank
City.
you for letting me know. I was like, my heart skipped a beat when he named a sports team, and I was like, what sport are we talking about?
We're talking about soccer, baby. Last Saturday, they had a game at Empower Field. So Rapids, owned by Mr. Kroenke, they lured the MLS. So the big draw in the MLS right now is Lionel Messi, who was at a time, and maybe some people would say still, the greatest soccer player in the world. He plays for Inter Miami. They have him on a contract. Inter Miami mostly plays on the East Coast, but 3 times a year they come play a West Coast team. And the Kroenke and the Rapids lured MLS to bring Messi to Colorado, I think because they booked a game in Empower Field, which allowed them to have a crowd of 75,000 people. I was there with my camera, taking pictures behind the scenes.
Oh, wow.
It was 75,000 people, the second most attended MLS game in history. It was their 30th anniversary celebration of the Rapids' existence. So there was like all this historical footage of their first game, and all of the fans were wearing the retro merch with the green and the yellow, which I actually think looks quite good in combination with the current maroon kits. Like I like all the colors together more than I like any combination of the two separately.
I'd have to see those.
And if I were the
I can't
Rapids,
picture those.
re-envisioning the brand identity, which they are, that's what I would do. But behind the scenes was so fun. I followed around Rapid Man. I got some great pictures. I posted some on the CityCast. He is an anthropomorphic wave with very 90s
very
hair.
cool sunglasses, right? Does he have sunglasses?
He does.
Yes.
But
Max Headroom sunglasses,
I'll post a link to my Instagram where I shared
what
some
is
of my
his
favorite
name?
photos. Rapid Man.
Rapid Man.
But yeah, it was just a great time, good for the Rapids. Huge celebration, 30 years. Maybe better things ahead for the franchise.
I was going to say
competitive sports world in Denver.
Good timing. Yeah. Good timing. We're paying a lot of attention to sports.
Fans showed
up.
up.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't realize there were that
a lot
many
of
people
Messi fans, more Messi fans than Rapids fans, I would guess.
But that maybe was the point, right?
Which I think,
Get those up people in front of them, see the Rapids.
Up
so
the
get the Rapids in
Pids?
front of them, Huh?
I learned people say this, up the Pids.
What does that mean?
Pids is short for Rapids. And up the Pids.
Paul made
It's
this
like a
up.
Britishism.
Paul is making
I did
this up.
not. People say this.
Paul, you made that up.
Okay, go ahead. What's your win, Brie?
It was just a really nice profile from Giles Klassen in the Denver Voice this week of Ruth Canaster, who is one of the folks that runs the Harm Reduction Action Center. She is one of the 2 ladies I see out on the corner of 8th and Lincoln every day greeting her folks. But I didn't know Ruth's story, and she's in recovery for addiction issues, and she works with this population directly, and she just had a really cool story to understand where she was coming from, and that she connects with their participants every day because she's been in their shoes.
Sure.
And it was just a really cool story of her being very honest, like living in my car, trying to get that. There's this whole moment. Giles' story is wonderful. Like he's just the way he just describes her experience. But it was like $436 or something was all she needed. $436 is what she needed to secure an apartment. And she just couldn't. They were doing, her and her husband were doing day labor to get there.
Yeah.
And it was a relative that gave them that money that helped them get to the next step. And now she's, serving her own people. And it was just such a beautiful story. So I just want to link to it. It was a nice story of someone in the community who does work every day for people by reflecting that experience of her own with them. So it was a great story. Great reporting.
That is nice. We'll link in the show notes to that. That sounds good.
Great story.
Hey, that's the show, but let me just remind you one more time about our spring membership drive. Today is the last day.
Please, for the love of God, sign up.
You did hear me say earlier that we are short of our goal. So we do need a few more people to pitch in if we're going to hit our goal, which we really want to do because we love this work. Connecting people to Denver, having a community around Denver stuff.
Can I say something we haven't said yet, really, Paul? We are now 5 years in. In March was our 5th anniversary. We've been doing this for 5 years. And some of you have been on that journey the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some stuff.
Which is amazing. Sure. Yeah. Which is amazing.
The ups, the downs.
The ups and downs. We've seen it, baby.
We're doing it together.
Yeah.
But I maybe celebrate us a little bit. Join us. Be a part of this community. Let us keep doing this for another, 5-10 years, however long we could go.
I mean, if you're listening now to the end of the episode and you're not a member,
what are you doing?
I mean, look in the mirror.
We know you're into it. We know. You're our people. We're your people. Membership.citycast.fm, $10 a month, $100 a year. Join us.
Membership.citycast.fm. Hey, that's the show. Adrian, Bree, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time. That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. Our producers this week were Olivia Jewel Love, Adrian Gonzalez, and me, Paul Caroli. Michelle Polizzi has been writing our morning newsletter. She's been doing an excellent job. Abby Madigan manages our social media. Bree Davies is our host. Our music is by Los Mocachetes with additional mixing by Tyler Lindgren. Our ad music is by Cuba Quartet from Epidemic Sounds via Getty Images. If you haven't already, subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram or TikTok at CityCast Denver, and tell Jason Trong about us the next time you see him. Thanks to our new neighbors who just joined since yesterday, Renee O, Julia L, John O, and Hans T. You all are amazing. Thank you so much. You too can support the show and get great perks like that green pennant by becoming a CityCast Denver neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. You can sign up for that daily newsletter I mentioned and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. That's all for the week. See you next time.
Before that, what is the Wi-Fi?